with the higher level black belt masters, like, you may not care, but that -1 hit percent again, as we've talked about.
Sorry all, we're having a bit of a glitch on the stream, but we will keep you up and posted because we can see what's going on. Vaughn pulling up to the fight against Kraken. Gonna try and get their final orb lit. Meanwhile, Fluoristar trying to figure out where to go. We gotta see Inferna is going to translate the slab.
This is anyone's race.
See some party member and equipment shuffling going on Vaughn's side. Siberian Bull, our first runner into tow, finds the Vorpal +4 in the validation checkboxes. That is a solid high crit weapon. Normally the Vorpal is a bit of a joke in the community, but if it rolls up that high, it is legitimately the most powerful weapon that they have found.
Yes, indeed. And the Masa and the Katana both rolled down and didn't see the X-Cal. Meanwhile, Siberian Bull is through Lich 2. Fiera Star will join him on Carry 2 shortly. Vaughn just killed a Kraken.
This is definitely the test. Once we get past Carry 2, you usually find the absurd punchability of a Kraken, or punching power of a Kraken 2, and of course Tia's absurd MDef generally making her hard to slay, being the gate. And then of course we have whatever Chaos has for us. This may be a short Topher, but that just means there's less walking between you and all the fights. Because still Topher, it's still the great equalizer.
Yes, indeed it is. Oh, see, and I was, when Fiera Star putting the Master up front, I like this. Use the Master as a meat shield.
Vaughn picking up the Ninja to get rid of the Master, it looks like. Thank you once again to our tracker, Mechlin, and of course, Scruffy Ninja Tuda, handling our button pressing and the cliff notes in our tracker notes that we do not normally get to share. Trust us when we say this. Trackers make this possible.
Yes, they do. See, Siberian Bull is taking advantage of that Vorpal and using that Masa. The swings, I didn't see the damage, but Kraken is still there. 256 takes down Kraken 2 for Siberian Bull. Now, Fiera Star, it's still Kraken 2. Swing with Ninja, takes down Kraken 2. This is a really close race. And Topher's going to Topher. Just because we have two runners on Tia 2 doesn't mean it's going to be either one of them that finishes first.
Now, a good question is, who, if anyone, has life magic? Because Cure 4, Life, Exit, and Heal were at level 5 white, and level 6 white had Life 2. So you see party members down on both side or both runners' screens. They don't look to be getting up between fights.
No, they do not. That Life 2 is locked out for the Red Wizard, and the White Wizard is down for Fiera Star. So it is down to man mode strats, and you got to remember, oh, Fiera Star wipes the Tia 2, and I didn't see it, but Siberian Bull looks like has wiped as well.
Every single wipe that occurs in Toph is enough, or is giving Vaughn a chance to catch back up, giving Inferna a chance to catch back up. Both runners just need to go into Topher. I mean, Vaughn needs to find that final Cardia Isle so he can pick up the slab and the tail. That'll get him into full go. Inferna just needs levels and go. Picks up, is going 4-man now, was 3-man up to this point, picks up a party member, but because Inferna hasn't put any levels on, That's a 30 hit point ninja.
Yeah, that is a level 1 ninja. That's probably nothing more than a meat shield.
Either way, Inferna joining Siberian Bull in Topher takes out Lich. One fiend behind Siberian Bull, who is now moving on to the Kraken refight. And Flurstar decided, I'm going to go ahead and eat some worms at Northwest Castle.
Yep, these are pretty decent experience. They aren't the great experience of the purple worms, but they'll make a good quick grind.
Well, they're a solid protein option in a pinch. And that master needs all the protein he can get to yoke up those guns.
Yes, it does.
I'm sorry, yoke up those guns. I feel bad for myself for saying that. Stunned, but gets through the fight. We see Vaughn is finally in the right place, going to get through the rod lock, get to the slab and potentially the tail.
And Siberian Bull brings up his top character with Life 2, and Kraken 2 says, Lifecaster, goodbye!
You know, it is a meme that Kraken 2 always goes after the white mage, and if the white mage isn't there, whatever character might have life on it. We know, having our devs dig through the code, it is absolutely not there in the code. But, I mean, some sort of cosmic conspiracy occurs every other time, and boom, Siberian Bull loses that fight. Inferna on the fight as well. Has the knight up and the white mage.
Siberian Bull heading into volcanoes, perhaps looking for a grind. I would not consider an earth tile a great grind.
Earth elementals in the volcano on the fire elemental tile, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they are. Meanwhile, Vaughn is checking out Sky 3.
Finds an ice shield +4. That's and fire armor +5, steel armor +2. Vaughn's final equipment is actually looking pretty substantial for both the fighter and the ninja.
All right, Siberian Bull has gone and promoted, so have access to better equipment. He also knows about that T-Rex, but he is not heading back up to the desert right now. Sierra Star not checking those chests and is not going to see that Vorpal. To be fair, he doesn't need it for Lich. Vaughn's still checking out Sky 3, nothing of note yet. Checking the greed chests.
Inferna passed the Kraken fight onto the Tia fight, only one fiend away from getting into that Chaos fight, but is 3-manning it right now. Used the magic to get the Black Mage back up between fights. Invis 2 coming out with the white shirt, taking advantage of the cast, not just the armor, and did pick up fast. That is huge.
That is very huge.
The times you can swing with that Vorpal with its high crit chance, if it actually gets through. But of course, those scales on Tiamat are thick.
That is quite true. Meanwhile, Sierra Star is on Kraken 2. Wants some evasion. Punch doesn't do much. Fade actually does a decent amount. Swing doesn't do much.
Siberian Bull going for the metal slimes. Finally, the party grind we'd hoped they'd go to. But will Siberian Bull get the value out of this, or will Inferna or Fluorostar making it through on their dives?
We shall see. See, enough hit from that purple. Harm 3 comes out. 112. TMSs. Oh, it's the Masa. 7 hits, not much. Like, I'm not sure who has checked those chests and knows about that Vorpal.
This tier
Comes out.
2 proving to be all the delay. We see Flurstar joining the fight with Inferna. Flurstar losing the Master, stuck with the Ninja doing the swinging and some casts from the Red and White Mage. Does not have a Black Mage, does not have access to Fast, which Inferna does. Inferna gets the Life 2 to bring the Black Mage up, is through the tier 2 fight and on to Chaos.
I do not believe we have seen Chaos yet, so we don't know what nasty surprises he has in store.
No, we do not. And Siberian Bull, meanwhile, I'm seeing level 27 across the party. That is substantially higher than any other runner on stream, which, I mean, given how hard it's been to get through the Fiend refights, could be extremely valuable, but Inferna is on the Chaos fight. If Inferna can pull this off, that will put them in excellent position.
Ooh, not what we want to see, but Fast comes out. Ice 2 from Chaos, we do want to see that. Decisions and Harm 3 and Temper, I like it.
This is a shuffled skill set, so we know, or we don't know what Chaos has, as you said before, but there's no guarantee Chaos has the nuke, no guarantee Chaos has Cure 4. You do want to take your time when you can to get the tempers up to boost the damage, boost the chance of hitting. 7 hits for 400. It's damage, but it's not as much damage you'd hope to get. This Chaos is only rolled slightly above normal, or could even be low roll, but we shall see.
Yep, Fierstar is also on Chaos now.
Chaos lighting things up with Inferno. Inferno's Black Mage trying to chill things down with Ice 3. Get some good damage in. Gonna use Cure 4 on the Knight. Keep it up. It is your tank. That top slot has a 50% chance of getting targeted by Chaos when they swing. But there's the kill. 7 hits, 414. That is a win for Inferna with a race time.gg time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, 7 seconds. First on stream and first overall in this run. We do have a few more runners off stream in this Group A match.
Yes, we had PCMM1331 who finished at 1 hour, 16 minutes, 48 seconds. Not far behind Inferna at all. Nick Fierstar, heal 3. Ink comes out. Doesn't do anything. Well, Fierstar is not getting much offense going here. Swing. I've seen Zeus Bonks here. That's not good. Punch misses. 3 hits, not much. Stun misses. Punch. Very little damage. Swing. 2 hits, 2 damage. Now Siberian Bull is on Tia, who is trying to chill the party. Swing. So, again, I don't remember who saw that Vorpal, but we are not seeing a lot of great melee coming out. I think Siberian Bull was used. It didn't get a lot, perhaps a few more tempers. But we're seeing just how bad that Malice on the black belt was. 3 hits, 3 damage. Zeus Bonk from the Ninja. Meanwhile, Vaughn has picked up his loot. And Siberian Bull is on to Chaos.
We are joined in the booth by our winner of this race, Inferna. GG's.
GG. Oh, that was... When I got into Topher and nobody was done, I'm still a little shaking. I have no idea how I got first.
Well, you persisted and you got through it. That last long check to try and find where the loot was must have been frustrating.
Yes, it was. And I was so worried I was going to end up with a chime and have to do a chime into Astos into loot chain. And I had no idea where... Oh, no, I knew where Astos was. Never mind. But still, I did not want to have to go kill him.
This was a very interesting mixer. Have to ask, what did you think of the forced recruits? Because that, as much as the map shuffle made a big difference with the run, I'm fairly certain that probably was the harder thing to work with. At least in my personal experience.
Not for me. I had settled on fighter double mage, and when I was looking through the blur things at the start, the thief was not particularly interesting. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't great. And the black belt was a black belt. The malice was real bad on it. So I basically just committed to 3 people and just replace the second slot over and over and over again and ignore them.
Now I forget, were you one of the runners who picked up that Vorpal +4?
I'm pretty sure I had a Vorpal and just swung the Masa because I got a free Masa very early on and was just like, all right, I'm done with weapons.
I mean, the Vorpal
I think we saw
+4
two
was...
Masa +2 or Masa -2s,
Yeah.
but the Vorpal +4 was in that top left chest there in the Topher.
Meanwhile, Siberian Bull has finished with official race time judge GG time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 45 seconds. So get your GGs out in chat for Siberian Bull. Second place on stream, 3rd overall. At Fiera Star, one thing I've learned looking at their stream is that Chaos has slow too, and he doesn't have fast, which explains that. Oh boy, Chaos has nuclear, and I've seen tornado, and Fiera Star is not in a good place, and Quadex will not land without Xfer against Chaos, unfortunately.
Turns out this Chaos was brutal.
Thanks to fast, he actually wasn't that bad for me.
That's true. You had that black wizard with the fast, which plus having life magic on their white mage makes a huge difference. And GG's, we are joined by Siberian Bull, our 3rd overall, 2nd on stream, with the race time.gt time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 45 seconds, just behind Pikmin 1331, who is in chat, who took up 2nd overall with a 1:16:48, not even a minute behind Inferno. Very close race.
GG.
Yeah, it definitely probably came down to me wanting those levels because I didn't like where the swinging that was happening there when I went into Topher. It's like, all right, I need a few levels. I was trying to remember where ice was because I had my mind settled on those metal slimes. It's like, all right, I know that was going to be my short grind, and I kind of wish I kept my red mage so I could have double fades going, so I could probably get a few more levels. But it is what it is. We made it. We were able to take down Chaos. Just a little behind Inferno. GG's, by the way.
Thank you.
Aside from that, yeah, the Blissings and Malices weren't all that great. So I was pretty much in the mindset of, okay, I'm keeping one of these mages from the start all the way to the end. So it's going to sack whether one of my white mages or red mages because we don't know what we're going to pick up along the way. It could have been all melee. So I was going to hopefully keep my Black Mage and hopefully find Fast, but I never found it. I don't know if Inferno did.
Level 8
What was that?
in Lafane. It
And
was,
it
yeah,
was-
Nuke
yeah,
was level 8 in Gaia.
So in other words, I went into Lefane, didn't even check the last two because like, I'm probably not gonna get it because I hadn't promoted yet, so I was like, I can't really buy this at the time. So it is what it is on that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Fiera Star got crit by Chaos and wiped and has forfeited. So get your GGs out for Fiera Star.
A valiant effort.
But what else? Yeah, so when I found that black belt second, it's like, okay, I was going to sacrifice the white mage because I wanted to keep the red mage magic. And I remember the black belt having, the free telemagic on it. So it wasn't a total loss, but the fact that it ended up being for me picking up the ninja and the white wizard at the end, it's like, kind of wish I could have gotten Fast somewhere, but it is what it is.
Yep, Fast, Temper, those
Like I was able to,
valuable.
yeah, Temper was level 6, and I was able to at least get it with Black Mage without having to upgrade, but I still ended up upgrading anyway when because I was trying to remember where the middle slimes was, and I just rebumped back into behind. I was like, oh, all right, might as well just do this.
GG's all around, and we are joined by Fiera Star. That was a brutal chaos fight.
Yeah, I should have spent more time considering party comp and leveling before I went in, but the period where I forgot that I had not retained the cube while doing Tia, that 20 minutes fried my brain, and I forgot everything that I had already done in that seat, and I could not remember where Ice Cave was. So I went in underleveled and couldn't pick it back up.
Yeah, you almost came back despite that, though, so that was quite the effort. Now, so Chaos leads off with slow 2, and did you ever see where Fast was?
Yeah, it was level 8, I think. Or rather, I went through the first 7 levels, and I knew that my red mage couldn't learn level 8, so it didn't matter.
Yes, level 8 Lefane.
Yep, and I couldn't get Temper either. So.
Those are
That's
the
the
two that got me
craziness.
through chaos.
So that's why I was just using Zeus bonks for essentially the whole fight.
Those caster items can prove incredibly valuable, even in the late game. You never know when you'll need them.
That is true. Meanwhile, Vaughn wiped against Chaos, went to the top chest, and found that Vorpal +4 and dropped a whole bunch of old weapons just to make room for it.
I remember now. It was the practice seed I did earlier today where I got the Vorpal. That's why I thought I had it.
Speed bleed is a thing. Another thing, if you have a Vorpal, you do need to actually equip it.
You also have to have a promoted class character to use it. So
That is
Katana
quite
being
true.
removed for the Vorpal on that ninja. So the
Faye
fun-
comes out. Ooh, good damage from that Vorpal. Not even... And Carry 2 is gone. Now, everyone's favorite Lifecaster Hugger Kraken 2. Fade. More Fade.
Bosses were so strange in this seed. The first two fell over because they're made of paper, and then Kraken and Tia were just like, I'm going to hang around forever.
I struggled
Second?
with each of them. I think I ended up quad Xing 3 of them.
Ooh.
Just because I had I could not get damage this seed. I just couldn't.
I'm trying to remember, were you the one who quad X'd a fiend on the solo red mage?
Yes, twice actually.
Red
Or no,
mage,
once,
best
and then solo red mage took down the lich. Yeah. Yeah, red mage took down Kraken on the final turn before it got nuked or smacked by Kraken.
Yeah, of course. I think it was Siberian Bulls. It was pretty funny where we saw Life 2 in battle versus Kraken 2, and Kraken 2 was like, "What's this life caster?" Wham!
Yeah, and then Tia 2 decided to repeat that for the end, but we swung the victory at the end there, so that was good enough.
Shoot for the purple fade. Tia's still there.
Vaughn
Right.
running out of spell charges.
Oof, we do not have ethers or any other sort of item to recharge those spells, and if you exit or warp out or just one out, you have to go through all these fights again. But you would keep the experience if you die, because you do have to save on death, so face planting against these fiends isn't necessarily a dead end, it's just a slow, unfortunate grind.
Yes. So unfortunate and frustrating grind. And Tia has fast. That's fun.
Yeah. At the very least, the Lich and the Carry are so weak that you can just bounce between them if you really needed to grind.
That is true. Lich 2 grinds are a thing.
For lack of normal Topher, where we have the option for the Topher grinds on things like gas steep hacks, you make what you can, or do with what you can.
That is
We were
quite
very
true.
much looking forward to some desert grinds because we saw multiple times the T-Rex looked like it was off the hard reset right outside Mirage.
Yeah, but that was a heck of a hero run.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that I could essentially make it to Provoca on a single walk, I just went, I'm not going to do an overworld grind.
Yeah, I didn't even consider them as soon as it went, you're running everywhere until once you got into an encounter, I think it was 3 back to back, but at that point, you've run halfway across the world.
Yeah, that's like 15-20 seconds per encounter.
We saw the metal slimes and ice, which was big. I know the Agama was seeing too, but that actually had a relatively nasty script. Oh, more annoying than nasty.
Yeah, it was just annoying. It was right in the tile in Waterfall, which, I mean, it was an Agama. It was okay, but it was only one Agama, so I killed it twice just to get up to like level 11, and then left.
And Vaughn's cut out and went back to top mid-fight. That was interesting.
Now, it looks like Vaughn has decided to back out, so that will be a second forfeit. Gonna go ahead and give the 4th place win to our second runner off stream. That is Franklin, a radical nerd. GG's, Franklin. Now that will bring this race to an end. This was, without a shadow of doubt, an interesting seed and a lot of adaptation to get used to.
That is for sure.
We have been on with our runners as we close this out. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Vaughn in for some thoughts if interested. Make sure all of our runners on stream get a chance to say their due if they are interested.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we did see in chat, by the way, Vaughn, accident reset into rage-inducing forfeit. I think we have all been there.
Yeah, I reset one of the items and had to go back and pick it up. The crystal, I think it was.
Yeah, I did that with the cube. Spent 20 minutes trying to find it.
Well, I knew I did it immediately. I went to walked out of the dungeon, went to save, and hit reset before hitting yes. Bang. Luckily, it was a very quick walk back in, pick it back up.
Finding all the items and keeping track of what's where. And it looks like Vaughn is going to pass on the interview. All clear, or all good on that. So let's go ahead and hop on to some final thoughts. With our winner overall, Inferna. What you got?
This was a surprise. I think this is the 4th one of these I've done, and by far my fastest. This has been an interesting flag set. I'm not the biggest fan of shuffling floors. I don't mind shuffling entrances, towns, dungeons, that doesn't bother me, but walking into Topher and getting something else is okay. Walking into Topher and getting jumbled nonsense, I'm not as big a fan of it.
And Siberian Bowl. Final thoughts, my good man.
Well, if you like jumbled nonsense this week, it's still going to be jumbled next week. Just a few less encounters, but a whole lot more searching. So get ready.
True.
So much to look forward to, and of course, our third runner on stream. Star. Final thoughts.
EF I got comfortable with. I made bad choices when replacing classes, and that is definitely something I need to take a lot more consideration into. I've honestly been treating that as a lesser part of the seed, and honestly that's probably what wrecked me tonight. I did not have a good way short of doing a massive grind to get the power that I needed at the end, and that's a problem.
Well, that's what the Duckling Boot Camp and the Duckling Derby are all about. We get to learn all the different things that this randomizer can do to us. And being forced to shuffle around your party, balancing multiple blursings, different scalings, and knowing what you can and can't take into the final fights. It is a lot to take in. But all things considered, y'all did an excellent job. Classic gamer, my good man. Final thoughts from you?
Alrighty, well, I'd like to thank all of our racers and Vaughn giving his final thoughts. He hates black belts. Either nothing kills you or everything does. It wasn't Etcher's Floor Shuffle that did him, it was mental state. We completely understand there. As our tracker and chat said, some days will be like that. I would like to definitely thank our trackers, Mechlin and Scrap Tuna Ninja, keeping us on top of things. My co-com, Saving Hawk, and of course everyone out there on speed gaming as well. Thank you to all. This was quite the seed. It was true. I mean, oh boy, fast level 8, you hate to see that when racing.
Well, it definitely led to some incredibly tense end game. But I must thank you, my co-coms, Classic Gamer, of course, our tracker duo, Mechlin and Scruffy Ninja Tuna, all of our racers on stream and not on stream, Speed Gaming for hosting this run and this event going forwards. We have a lot more Final Fantasy Randomizer for you all, be it here or on our other channels. In fact, tomorrow we will have the Group B run of week 3 on Final Fantasy Randomizer. That is scheduled for the morning. Double check the time on that. That will be at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. For other races, we have our async events for the Lefanian Ladder, which is our all-round challenge league for our runners in the community. You see some very crazy seeds being run with those races. We've got runs coming up on Monday and Thursday this week, followed by Monday, and then the final event, which will be May 28th, the championship, running through June 1st. And of course, the big event coming up in June, we will be having our Final Fantasy Randomizer Live Marathon. For the first time, it will actually have a live host in-person event. I personally forgot. I'm saying it, but I forgot the location it is being held in.
Charleston, West Virginia.
Thank you very much. And that is the weekend of the June, or mid-June, I believe. The weekend of the 14th through the 16th.
Yes, it starts on the 13th. Lucky Friday the 13th. That includes Father's Day.
That will be no doubt interesting. Tons of fun runs, not just FFR, it's all sorts of randomizers. They'll be checked out. You can go to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com to check that out. There's links in the wiki handling all of our events, as well as guides and tutorials on how to do this. Obviously, if you're interested in the randomizer, you can go there. You will find links to the Discord. You can join up with this Duckling program. It's not just this tournament. It's not just the Duckling Derby or Duckling boot camp that runs behind it or before it. It is a year-round practice of different seeds with different runners in the community, and you get to learn how to run this game. And it doesn't take much to do it. Just takes a device that can run the ROM, and the website to get going. With all of that said, I have been Thavian Hawk. My co-comms has been Classic Gamer 76. Our tracker Mechlin, our tracker Scruffy Ninja Tuna. For all the runners, for all those out there, y'all have a great evening.